I don't know if I'm speaking to the real one or the hologram one.
Well, I always say that I'm the robot, that's the real one.
All right.
You want me to take off my glasses? What do you prefer? No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You look good in any way. But we saw your hologram there. What's the importance of an hologram to tell a story?
Well, the hologram doesn't tell you the story. The hologram tells you, interacts with you. And interacts with you, and you interact with that other person, whoever Holocaust survivor is a hologram, as a human being, and he tells you his story, not the Holocaust. He tells you his story. By interacting with him and asking him questions, you get to know him, and you get a little bit of him in you, and you get the story in such a way which is quite different than if you were just seeing a testimony on a flat screen and just speaking. It's not the same. You interact. There is a connection between the two of you, and you actually become, a person like I speak to you now, whereas before that it wasn't being that you couldn't do that.
In these times that after some years from the Holocaust, we are losing the opportunity to talk with the survivors. Just one year ago, I was speaking with one. He's not more with us, so we don't have that opportunity. How to hear about your story? How do you feel you can give this to the next generations?
Well, I think through both the virtual reality, which is even one step further, you can actually travel with me to Majdanek. And all you have to do is put on your earphones and put on your mask, and you are with me in Majdanek. So you're traveling with me, and you are there with me. So you actually are taking the journey.
How was for you to visit again Majdanek, virtually or being there? How was for you?
Well, for me it was very difficult because this particular making the virtual, I've been in Majdanek many times with students and educators and others, but this particular making virtual reality was very difficult because I had to do it alone. I was by myself, and it brought me back to 1943 May, when I was suddenly left alone without my father. So emotionally, it was an extremely difficult thing to do.
How was Majdanek in your early years? It's important people to know.
Majdanek was a camp, apart from being a death camp where people were being gassed to death, it was also a terror camp where people were being terrorized. The majority of the guards were so cruel that they couldn't get away a day unless they killed somebody. And they used to kill them with spades, not necessarily with a bullet. So it was if you go to Poland, you speak to Catholic Polish people, because in Majdanek there were 5 fields. It was 5 camps, one next to each other, divided by electric wire and electric barbed wire. But the actual fact, it was torture. They were torturing you. It was a place of torture.
Yes.
They only loved I'll give you an example. One morning you got up and you stood there on a roll call, and they said, you Arbeitskommando. So they take you to a place where there's a huge mountain of big stones, and they say everybody has to pick up a stone and run a mile and put it in the other place. So you think, well, they're taking the stone to do something with it. So you run. In the meantime, you're beaten all the way to run quicker, and then when all the stones are finished on that pile, they tell you, now take these stones and take them back.
So it was just to play with
torture.
you,
to torture you. It was absolute torture.
How did you survive? You were a kid in that time. How did you survive?
The only way I can answer the question is by providence. I'm a religious, Jew, and I believe that providence kept me safe, and my Father in heaven somehow guarded me like an angel. I don't know.
And what's the importance of sharing your story? You already told me it's important. What's the importance? People to know it's something that happened years ago, and it's repeating.
So people should know what can happen and what shouldn't happen, and that's very straightforward. I mean, it's a very, as I said before, you know, it's like you. I mean, I use that example. It's like, you know, you have horrible diseases, and if you can find a vaccine, a little bit of the disease, and that makes the person better, then it works. So if you show what happened, and it shouldn't happen.
You said, like you said now, you don't hate the perpetrators. They are already. You don't hate the perpetrators.
I didn't say I don't hurt it. I don't. It's not a question of hating. It's a question of, I believe that they should be judged. They should be brought in front of a court of law. I don't believe in the death penalty because I think it's actually judicial murder, as I said there before. And I believe that every perpetrator, I think courts of law are the place where they should be. But one should air what they've done, so people should know exactly what happened. That's number one, because people don't even sometimes believe. I mean, look at all the denial.
You see, after so many years, it's anti-Semitism rising back in the United States and many other countries. We saw Philadelphia, where one survivor was killed again for being Jew. What do you think we can do against anti-Semitism and against other hates and racism?
The only thing we can do is fight anti-Semitism with whatever means we have at our disposal. We should try and, I mean, like in Canada, we've done lots of things with the government, lots of things with the police and so forth and so on, and just try and educate people. That's why Holocaust survivors, you know, and second generation are now being trained to go to schools and teach people that everybody is equal, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, or whether you're Jew. It doesn't make much difference, and this is what I do.
Thank you for being here. You did it here at Ciudad de las Ideas. It was a pleasure. How did you feel here? How did you feel seeing you first on camera? And then...
I love my first encounter with Mexico is wonderful. I find the people in Mexico are just fantastic. I've never found so much kind of kindness and goodwill and pleasantry as I've in any other place that I've been visited.
Thank you very much.